Welcome investors! Today we are going to be talking about the recent leak of classified informations, and I'll show you who is responsible for this and who is guilty, and I'll show you that this 21 years old guy, Jack Textiera, who is a member of National Guard, is not guilty. Even if the court finds him guilty, he is not responsible for this what's happened. So if you are interested in finding out all those informations, watch this video to the end. Okay, so let's start with a little bit of background. $90 billion every year is spent in United States on intelligence community. That's a huge amount of money. Many times a lot of actions don't end up in the public eyes, which are done by the secret services and by the intelligence communities. But this time we have probably one of the biggest breach in the US history. Why this happened? The guy who has done this allegedly is 21 years old kid, because you have to say this openly. Man 21 years old is not far from 16 years old or 15 years old teenager. Plus, on the top of this, men are growing, developing, maturing much slower many times. So this 21 years old member of National Guard is probably at the level of 15 or 14 years old kid. Is immature. If he is found being guilty of this what he has done, and if you talk to him in 10 years in the future, in 2033, he would never have done this. But being 21, it's not far from being 15 or 16 years old. So the fault is on the side of those people who hired him. Those people who are hiring for positions of the server administrators who handles classified informations, there should be the age restrictions, at least 30 years or 31 years old and over, not 21 years old kid. It is the same like hiring 15 or 14 years old kid, because the way of thinking between the man 15 years old and 21 years old is not big a difference. So the fault lies on the side of human resource department who hired this guy. Overall, for sure, most of the people who are unskilled like this kid end up working for government, because government pays less money. Guys who are more mature, who are more experienced, they work for private sector because they have family to raise, they have a lot of obligations. This kid probably was living in his parents' basement, didn't have his own family, did not live on his own, did not pay all his bills on his own. I'm not sure of these informations, but I would assume that this is true. So when you take the kid like this and put him into the position of maintaining the server, he has access to the root of the server, which means that he has access to all the informations which are based on this server, even if he's not allowed to look at them. So that's what probably happened. He was a server administrator, because it is a tedious, boring job which nobody wants to do. So Massachusetts National Guard decided to give it to some kind of young kid. That's what's happened very often. But like I said, he's not guilty. He's just a young, stupid kid who will regret his actions to the rest of his life. But the fault is on those people who hired him, because they should know better that 21-year-old kid, it is a kid. It's the same as giving 15-year-old the same responsibilities. Not a big difference between the man 15 years old and 21 years old. I remember when I was 21 years old, I have done a lot of crazy things which I would never do when I was 31 years old. Basically, immature man got the handle of very important information and wanted to impress his friends online. That's what's happened. And the people who should go to jail for this are those people who hired him. They, for me, they're just stupid. You have $90 billion spent on intelligence community, and you have some kind of dudes hiring the kid to handle classified information, or allowing him in easy way to get access, because we don't know yet that this guy Jack has direct access, or he maybe stole this information by some tricky way, knowing how to operate the server, how to basically get the data from floating in the system, which he had access to. So again, not his fault. People who hired him made a major mistake, and they should go to jail. This kid, of course, he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. He will regret this. But if you analyze the situation, it's absolutely not his fault. Okay, so thank you so much for listening this quick video. Please let me know, what do you think about this whole recent situation. I'm watching this very carefully because I'm Polish. I was born in Poland. Past 24 years I spent in the United States, so I'm watching, because some of the info was about the Ukraine, that Ukraine is running low on anti-air missiles, about the casualties. Those informations they're nothing new for someone who is interested in war in Ukraine. For me, that was nothing new that they were running low on anti-air missiles, because Russians are trying to overwhelm Ukraine with all the drone and missiles attacks. So Ukrainians are responding overwhelmingly, and of course they are running low. That's nothing new. Casualties is another thing. Of course, there are huge casualties on Russian side, and there are huge casualties on the Ukrainian side as well. It is a war. It is a war. So many times when I watch video and they post, oh, today there was 10 of the Russians killed, or there was 15 wounded, those informations, how do they know this immediately from the battlefield? Nobody is checking this. So don't believe in this. This is propaganda, and Russians have their propaganda, and of course Ukrainians have their own propaganda. So most of those informations which are in these leaks were not really a surprise to me, that Chinese are considering and they agreed to provide lethal weapons to Russia. Of course, they are gonna stay on the side of Russians, because the political system which they have is more closer to Russian system than to let's say Western democratic countries. It's nothing new. The same as when Chinese are trying to build better relations with Middle East countries, because they know that US destroy a lot of relations with Middle Eastern countries. So there was really nothing new in this these reports about the war in Ukraine and global situation. Another thing was about the about the special forces of UK, US, and another ally countries being in Ukraine. I said this in the videos from the beginning, that there will be small units of special forces of NATO countries operating in Ukraine. It's nothing new, and so basically what is the core of informations, how the Ukrainians are planning to do future offensive. Ukrainians probably didn't share this info with US or another allies, because those informations didn't end up on this leaks which went publicly. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think about all this situation, and if you agree with me that this poor kid is not guilty, even if he is guilty, that the people who hired him and the system who is processing people who are working around classified information is broken, and the system is guilty, and the people who are in charge of this system, I would say, are guilty. Please let me know if you agree or if you disagree. Drop me a comment in the section below. And of course, like always, if you like the video, give me a thumb up and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Stay healthy and well.